Hey folks, Quill18 here, bringing you some Let's Play Master of Orion 2 Battle at Antares. This past weekend, I did a live stream, and if you were one of the people there, you saw me playing a little bit of this game. First, before I get into Master of Orion 2, let me talk about the live stream. So this Saturday, I don't know, just kind of bored or something, had the idea. I made a little post on YouTube letting people know that I would be setting up a live stream. I had the link in there. People could click on there and watch me play some games. And we did a bunch of Diablo 2. That was the main plan. We tried to do some League of Legends, but the lag from live streaming the video was so much that at times there was a 5-second delay between what I was doing. So it was pretty hilarious to watch me fail super duper hard. And then we played some more games, and I really enjoyed it. We had between 30 to 40 people in the stream, and some people came and went, but I had a ton of fun, and I intend to do it again. But yeah, one of the games that I showed was Master of Orion 2. It just came up in conversation. I said show it off, and I tried this crazy rush build, and it didn't exactly work out. It was a pretty huge fail, and I think that's part of the reason people were so entertained. So I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll do a Let's Play Master of Orion 2, and I'm sure you can find some of this on YouTube. I haven't looked myself, but I'm going to take it a little bit slow to start off with. I'm going to make sure to really show off sort of the basics of the gameplay and how to play this game, because it's very, very easy to get. If you want to play it yourself, there's tons of places where you can get it. I mean, you can probably just download it somewhere or something like that. But I highly recommend going to Good Old Games. That's GOG.com. GOG.com. Good Old Games. Because they have tons of good old games there. And they've worked hard to make sure that the games work on modern versions of Windows. Like, this game came out in 1996. So it's not really meant to run in Windows 7. But they have it running in a DOS box, and actually I can probably pull that up here. So when you start it up, you actually get a DOS... And... what happened to my game? Oh, there it is. Okay. You get a DOS window that comes up and starts it up, and it runs inside of an environment, and everything's been optimized to just work correctly. Just work correctly inside of modern versions of Windows. So anyway, that's my recommendation. Really super good game. And so while I tried kind of a crazy rush when we were doing the live stream, I'm going to play kind of a standard version. In fact, I'm probably going to go and be all try hard and take all the the hardcore, really good picks, just so that we can stomp all over the computer. And so I want to show you guys how to play so that you can enjoy this game yourselves. So we're going to start a new game here. So this is the new game screen. You've got a variety of difficulties that you can try. I have beat the game on Impossible before, but it is actually pretty tough on Impossible unless you're you've been practicing, you're in the zone, you take all the really good picks and everything. And I don't think I can quite handle it. I'm going to stick on hard for now. Galaxy size, we've got all the way huge, so small to huge. I'm going to stick with large just for this replay, keep it a little bit shorter, but generally speaking, I do play on huge, and it's a lot of fun. Galaxy age. So you can choose organic rich, mineral rich, or average. Basically, a mineral rich is a younger galaxy. The planets are going to tend to have more minerals, but the atmospheres aren't going to be as hospitable. There's going to be a lot more toxic planets, a lot more barren planets, that sort of thing. And organic rich is supposed to represent a older, more mature galaxy, where the planets don't have as many minerals anymore. But they have a lot of plants. Things are more mellow, just a lot more sort of ocean, Terran planets, that sort of thing. And then average. So I mean, galaxy age. I don't know. I mean, in a sense, no, I'm not going to get all sciencey and whatever. But I like to play it on average. They're all good. Mineral rich is probably hard, unless you've got a race that's good at living on crappy planets. Organic rich is probably nice for really big populations, and that's going to really benefit anyone who's got sort of innate bonuses to production, maybe, so they can make up for the fact that the planets are going to be mineral poor. But I'll just stick it on average. Leave it on 8 players. We'll get a lot of variety of opponents. Actually, we'll get all the opponents, I think. Tech level. So you can start at pre-warp, average, post-warp, and advanced. Now, I've never really played at post-warp and advanced, but pre-warp and average are worth talking about. The average start, you will start off. So, I guess I didn't even tell people what kind of game this is. This is a turn-based strategy game set in space. If you like something like Civilization, you will like Master of Orion 2, or as people in the know call it, Mu 2. So yeah, it's a space civ game. And so, starting at average, you start with all the basic technologies, as well as 2 scouts plus a colony ship. So you can go right into colonization. Post-warp and advanced, you will start with more technology already researched. And I don't tend to like to go that way because I want to be able to pick my own path with the idea that I'm smarter than computers, so I'll get an advantage that way. But pre-warp is an interesting case. You don't start with any of the basic technologies researched. You have to research all of the technologies required, excuse me, to get to the point where you can start to build your first colony ship. I'm losing my sound in here or something. I don't know what's up with that. Let me see something here. Minimize this. Move this. Click back in here. No, hopefully it'll pick up again once we're in the game. Pre-warp. Yeah, so you have to research all the technologies. And if you play... It's a little bit more interesting that way in a sense, but also if you play a race that's got a technology advantage, like if you can research faster, then it's actually quite advantageous to start pre-warp, because you can hopefully research the techs quicker and get out your colony ship faster than other people. That being said, if you're not good at building either, it can just take you very long to build those up. For the sake of this demonstration, I'll start at pre-warp. Usually I start at average, and average is probably preferable for people, but I'll do pre-warp just so that it shows off all the little individual bits and pieces of the game. Then you've got options here for the game settings. Tactical combat, I always leave on. Basically, if you leave tactical combat on, when your starship, or when your fleet of starships is attacking another fleet of starships, the game will change to a sort of like like a tactical map where you, like the main game itself is turn-based, but every turn is like, a year or something like that. But inside of tactical combat, you can just take individual turns to move your ships around, resolve all that. It's just a different time scale. It zooms into the battle. If you turn this off, then when your fleet attacks another fleet, the computer just like rolls some dice and says, oh, okay, well, these ships win, these ships lose, and whatever. So the tactical combat's actually quite interesting. I like it. But more importantly than that, tactical combat allows you to build, or rather design your own ships. With it turned off, the ships are just sort of abstracted. And I really like building ships, so I always leave it on. Random events, you can take it or leave it. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it on just for the richness of the full event, but a lot of times I turn it off because sometimes you can just get screwed by it. And it's really, really unpleasant when that happens. And finally, Antaren's attack. I really recommend you leaving this on. Otherwise, you lose a big, big part of what the gameplay actually is. The Antarens are this sort of super powerful alien race that live in another dimension that occasionally pop out and start attacking people. And it's just part of the greater Master of Orion storyline. And one of the ways to win the game is to build a dimensional portal and send your attack fleet to their homeworld and destroying their homeworld, which you can only do much later because it's very, very badass. And if you turn off Antaren's attack, then you lose that option for a victory mode. So I like to leave it on. Again, you can get screwed if they attack you, but usually they only attack the most powerful race, so it's a little bit balanced. It's kind of like the blue turtle shell in Mario Kart, which, really sucks if you're in first place, but otherwise you love it. And I do tend to be in first place most of the game, but it doesn't take that long before you can get enough tech to start repelling these guys, hopefully, especially if you're in a sciencey situation. And we're going to be playing it pretty sciencey. New game. Okay, so then you get to select your race. And of course the art, these are not like 3D graphics of awesome that we're all used to in this day and age. But we do have, so we're not going to get all the races when we have 8 players. I forgot. There's actually 13 races in the game already, right? Yeah, 13 races that you can choose from, and custom, which allows you to just customize your race any way you want, which is what I like to do. That's by far my favorite. I'll give you a really quick rundown of what the races are like, though. So the Akari are supposed to be, they can fly natively, so they get a big bonus to ship defense. They also have artifacts in their homeworld from like a precursor race, so they get better research on their homeworld. The Bulrathi are a very stout, strong race. Very militaristic. You can think of them a little bit like the Klingons. They get a bonus to ship offense, and that is for beam weapons. Their beam weapons are going to be more accurate. They also get a bonus to ground combat because they're tougher. Also, their homeworld has a higher gravity than normal. And what this means is these guys operate normally on high gravity planets. Normally, if you settle a high gravity planet, you get a big penalty to production, like 50% or something like that. So these guys get to ignore that. Additionally, I believe high gravity gives you even more bonuses to ground combat because your guys are naturally tougher. Maybe it gives you an extra hit points or something like that. I don't remember. It's not a pick I usually take. But yeah, they're they'd be quite good at ground combat. Unfortunately, the Bulrathi generally don't tend to do very well as a race. Just because all their pluses make them better at fighting, but they don't get any pluses to research or production, so it's very rare that they're actually going to find themselves in a position where they can muster a significant enough force to fight you off. They're generally not competitive. The Darlocks are interesting. They're like super spies. They get a bonus to espionage, and their ships are automatically stealthed. So you can't see them on the map normally, so they can really do some pretty wicked surprise attacks. The Ilarians are really hot. They're a telepathic race, and they're omniscient. And they're like feudal and okay. They've got so many bonuses. It's amazing. Okay, they are a feudal form of government. That's feudal, not futile. Which is to say, sort of like they have a king and barons and earls and all that kind of thing. It's actually considered a penalty when you build your race, because it does come with a research penalty, but you get a big bonus to building ships, so they can be quite warlike. Apparently, yeah, they're a matriarchy. They're like kind of like Amazons, so the women rule everything. And they're like super warriors, so they can build ships faster. They get a bonus to defense and offense, and they're omniscient, which means they know everything about the universe. They know where all the planets are and all the ships are at all times, and they're telepathic, which I believe gives them the bonus to potentially diplomacy. I don't remember, maybe not. It does give you a bonus to espionage. And also, you can, if you've got a big enough ship, when you attack another planet, if you've got a big enough ship in orbit, you can literally just mind control the entire planet from orbit, which is the easiest way of conquering other populations. So the Ilarians can be a little bit dangerous like that, but again, they don't get any bonuses to research generally, so they're not often that threatening. The Nolums are a low gravity race. So their planet has naturally low gravity, and this is a big penalty usually. While it does mean that they don't get a penalty on low gravity planets, like usually, just like a high gravity planet, a low gravity planet carries a production penalty, although it's not as big. So they can safely settle low gravity planets. Unfortunately, normal gravity planets give them a penalty because of their low gravity. They're not used to the amount of gravity, so they get a penalty to average gravity planets, in addition to heavy gravity. But they're expert traders, and they get extra tax money, and they're lucky. So if you have random events turned on, they tend to get better events, and they don't usually get bad events. Humans are just really good at trading. They're also democracy. Democracies give you big bonus to research, so humans actually generally do pretty good. The Klakons are an